guys, welcome back to the channel. So, Zcam Turbomount. Let's take a look at this thing. So it does come very nicely boxed. I'm just not showing you the box because I've actually lost it. It has this really nice rubber mat on the back which covers up the connection pins for the autofocus, image stabilization, what have you. Okay, so let's take a look at the locking mount itself. This is how this works. So as opposed to your lens coming in and turning, if this is your lens, it comes on, you line up this pin here and turn. As you turn, it gets tighter and tighter. It weighs 278 grams. It's quite a, that's with the back cap and the front cap. And of course, there is no slot on the side for an END filter. Not compatible. So for those of you unfamiliar with the Turbomount, it is a focal reducing lens mount designed by Zcam for the Zcam E2 flagship series of cameras. So it's very strong, very well built, very tough, heavy, for sure long lasting, solid piece of kit with an amazing twisting EF mount which really pulls in lenses tight and removes any wiggle room at all with the lenses. With modern fly-by-wire lenses and autofocus like on the Sony cameras, it's not so important to have this locking lens mount because most people use autofocus with these. With the Zcam or of a cinema camera, and you have manual focus lenses, whenever you twist or turn a follow focus or you manually turn your lens to focus, if there's any play in that lens mount, your lens will click left and click right until it locks into the little safety pin that does this on the EF mount. So the focal reducer built into this turbo mount is a 0.71 times crop. On the 1.9 crop MFT sensor from Zcam, this results in a 1.35 crop from full frame. So it's a little bit wider than Super 35 and a little bit wider than the S6 and a little bit wider than APS-C. So a lot of lenses that are designed for Super 35 or APS-C will in fact vignette on this turbo mount because it is actually a little bit wider than those lenses' intended purpose. Obviously they're intended for a 1.6 or a 1.5 crop. On the 1.35 you're going to get a little bit vignetting and a little bit soft corners, but this is completely the fault from the lens, not the fault from the lens, but the lens, they're just not designed to be compatible together. So I actually already made a review video for the turbo mount with the Sigma, and it focuses specifically on these two systems together. You can view that just here. It mostly covers vignetting, but take a look at this and then maybe come back to this video for an overall review. So what's it like to work with the turbo mount? Fantastic. Like I said, the locking mount is amazing. Changing lenses is really good. It's very simple to take on and off if you need to. If you want to go back to an MFT mount to use some old vintage lenses like FDs that can't be converted to EF, it's quite simple to unbolt the mount and rebolt the original MFT mount back onto the camera. Optical quality. I think there is zero loss in optical quality at all. Like I said in the Sigma lens, a little bit on the corners, but this is nothing to do with the turbo mount. My full frame Yashica lenses perform very well on here. No loss of contrast or sharpness in the corners. Flaring, let's talk about flaring. Let's talk about why I'm making this video today. To be flat out honest, the flaring is horrendous on this turbo mount. Direct flaring into the lens with like a torch that everybody does these review videos of this and they shine a torch into the lens and do this. This is not a review of the flaring. This is useless. Who makes a video whenever you've ever done a film and you've been shining a torch into a lens? This is not where this lens flares. I find the flaring problem with indirect light. If you're in a room and you're looking out of a window, this window will cast a huge flare across. I'm not talking a low sunset. I mean, on a grey, cloudy day outside with no direct sunlight, it's going to bounce off of a wall even and flare really badly. And it's not a beautiful flare. It's a big swinging blob of mess that moves from left to right or right to left as you pan across a scene. I just recorded a bunch of footage downstairs. I kept the tripod in the exact same spot. I did it as objectively as I can with the same lens. Of course, I had to zoom in because one has a crop factor, so I zoomed in to 24 with the turbo mount and out at 18 without the turbo mount to give the same field of view, should we say. I moved a light in and around the scene. I marked it on the floor. I did it all to be completely fair and as objectively as I could. So as you can see in the test footage, this turbo mount is really bad at flaring. And it's a real shame for me because I'm a big Zcam fan. I'm I'm very active on the Facebook page. I push the camera everywhere I can in other videography and photography pages. I'm always talking about how much I love Zcam, how good it is, how the team is so good, the customer support is so good, the updates, the firmware updates are amazing. They're actually like getting a new camera. Everything is so good with Zcam, but this Turbomount is a complete failure. It shouldn't have been released. In my mind, it should have been recalled or not released. This test, of course, as I said already, was done with my Sigma 18-35. That's my best lens, my best coated lens. So I've also done this with my Samyang 35 1.4 and my old vintage lenses, which don't have such good coatings on them, and now even worse, even more apparent flaring. Sure, you can get a matte box to try and get around this. I can hear people screaming already, get a matte box, everyone needs a matte box. Yes, I've got a matte box, I've got 2 matte boxes. But you can't put a matte box, like the shot I just did, looking through the window, like this. You can't put a matte box there. You can't. It doesn't always work. You can't always stop the light getting in there, and it's not always practical to use a matte box, or it's a workaround for a severe problem that you shouldn't have to deal with in the first place. Another reason I'm selling the Turbomount is because with the pixel zoom from DZO, the rear element in the lens contacts with the Turbomount, so they're incompatible together. I also really want to use the END filter from Zcam, but I can't use that with the Turbomount because there's no slot for it. The glass is in the same place that the filter would come in. I'm filming today on the Zcam E2 M4 with no Turbomount, because you can see there's no flaring, and my old Yashica 35 Euro 51.4 lens at 2.8. I'm also recording on my Rode NTG 2, which I finally got to work properly on the Zcam, which is really, really good, makes me really happy. It's plugged directly into the XLR. I've been telling people for months not to buy this in conjunction with the Zcam, or it doesn't work, you have to use an external recorder. It works fine. I think I had a rechargeable battery in the microphone, which gives 1.2 volts, not 1.5. So it was very, very, very quiet. Now I've got a brand new normal AA battery in there. And as you can hear, the audio is fantastic. The mic is very close to me, out of frame, just here. But working good, so I'm super happy with that. So if you like what I did today and you like the channel and you're interested in Zcam and the stuff they make, please subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video when I'm always going over Zcam stuff. Going to do this lens review set here soon, the Yashicas. I keep saying this, I will get it done one day. Thanks for watching, click subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.